It's unbelievable how memory can fickle and change so quickly on certain topics. I for one have seen and experienced memory loss from other NBA fans. As a Raptors fan myself, it's crazy to me how quickly people change their mind on the Raptors being the clear-cut and deserving winners of the 2019 NBA championship. You have people nowadays claiming that if the Warriors team was healthy, we wouldn't have won. People forget how good the Raptors team really was all around and act like Kawhi wasn't playing on another level the entire postseason. I mean, people really had him over LeBron that year, and I don't blame them. That was the best basketball I had ever seen Kawhi Leonard play. Anyways, we can save that for another video. In this video, we'll have a look at some of the most forgotten players that have played in the NBA. It really sucks how if your favorite player has one bad game or one bad week, people will forget the years of success they've created and will judge them based on their most recent actions. Recency bias is one of the biggest issues plaguing the sports world, as certain NBA analysts, you know who you are, will spend hours arguing about if a player has fallen off, when in reality, they're just having a bad streak. Today, we're going to have a look back into the past of some amazing NBA players that don't get the recognition that they deserve. Let's go. Just to quickly remind you before we start off the list, if you could drop a like on this video to show support, that would be great. This channel is still super small, so every like helps push us to new people. And while you're liking the video, if you could hit the subscribe button too, that would be great. I make basketball related content just like this video, so if that sounds enticing, please consider it. Our subscriber goal will be 50 subs by the end of February, and for this video, let's try to aim for 6 likes, which I don't think is too bad. The first person we'll have a look at is still on an active roster. Although his role has significantly been reduced over the years, he was an absolute monster in his prime. I'm talking about Andre Iguodala. Yeah.
I want Iguodala.
He's been in the league since 2004 and has played for 4 different teams: the 76ers, the Nuggets, the Warriors, and the Miami Heat. He stacked up a pretty nice resume too, being a one-time All-Star, a part of an All-Defensive team twice, the 2015 Finals MVP, which he stole from Steph Curry, and a 3-time NBA champion. In his best season, he averaged just under 19 points, 5.7 rebounds, and a little over 5 assists while averaging 47.5% from the field and 30.7% from 3. He did all of that while also averaging over a steal and a half a game and half a block a game. I would firmly agree that Iggy is one of the most forgotten stars of the 2000s. He's most remembered for his time in Golden State, where he helped some of the greatest teams we've ever seen win rings. Before that though, he was a star on a young Philly team where he made a name for himself as one of the most athletic players in the league. I still go back to watch Philly Iggy highlights every once in a while. Unfortunately, age is something that nobody can stop, and the same went for Andre Iguodala. It's a shame that most people forgot that Andre Iguodala can be the guy that can get you highlight after highlight. The second guy we'll be looking at was also a highlight machine. Josh Smith, aka Jay Smooth, was a beast in his prime. His career lasted a total of 14 years from 2004 to 2018, although the last couple of years saw him getting picked up by nobody. He played for the Hawks, the Pistons, the Rockets, the Clippers, and the Pelicans. Josh Smith has made it all defensive team once and was a 2005 Slam Dunk champion. Although his accolades may look a little dry, don't get it twisted. He was one of the most entertaining players that had been to Atlanta since Dominique Wilkins. In his best season, Josh Smith put up a little under 19 points per game, almost 10 rebounds a game, and just under 4 assists too. He put up those numbers while also averaging a steal and a half a game and a little under 2 blocks a game. His percentages also weren't that bad for his best season, averaging 45.8% from the field and 25.7% from the three-point line. With a max vertical of 39.5 inches, Josh Smith was a showstopper with insane blocks and thunderous alley-oops. He was one of the most entertaining players at the wing position who could leap from anywhere he felt like. He was honestly a force to be reckoned with in his prime. If your favorite team was facing the Hawks, be ready to accept the fact that your team was probably going to get dunked on a few times by Mr. Smith. Unfortunately, the game evolved right in front of Josh Smith's eyes, and he was not able to keep up. His lack of a good jump shot left him in the dust. For his career, 86% of his shots were two-pointers, and 36.7% of those two-pointers came within 3 feet of the basket. Still, Josh Smith is one of my favorite players to look back on and watch his highlights. Next up, we're having a look at another beast from the mid-2000s era. No Chill Gilbert Arenas played for 10 years from 2002 to 2012. He played for 4 different teams, those being the Golden State Warriors, the Washington Wizards, the Magic, and the Grizzlies. He racked up some pretty good awards in his time, being a 3-time All-Star, All-NBA Second Team once, All-NBA Third Team twice, and the 2003 Most Improved Player of the Year. In his best season, Gilbert Arenas almost put up 30 points a game, 3.5 rebounds a game, 6 assists, 2 steals, and a little under half a block a game, all while averaging 44.7% from the field and 37% from the 3-point line. Without a doubt, Gilbert Arenas has one of the coldest games in the league, as well as some of the coldest nicknames. Hibachi, or Agent Zero, was Damian Lillard before there was a Damian Lillard. For Arenas, it was normal to hit deep threes, take and make an endless supply of clutch shots, and be super creative around the rim. He was one of those rare players that had a green light from anywhere on the court, and it really felt like his shots would almost always go in. The reason his appreciation has been fading away was his own fault though. The last NBA game he played was when he was just 30 years old, and he was mostly signed due to some issues he had with the Wizards. If you aren't aware of the story, I'll inform you. He brought a gun into the locker room, which brought a year-long suspension as well as criminal charges. Luckily, he has opened up and come to realize the mistakes he's made that drove him out of the league, and he's very open about it too. He takes full responsibility for his actions and regrets them. It sucks that his prime was tainted with off-the-court issues, because Agent Zero was really something special. The next player on our list is one that not many of us have seen play live, because if you did, you'd be around 60 years old right now. I'm talking about Willis Reed. He's only played for one team, that being the New York Knicks, from 1964 to 1974. In that time, he carried the Knicks to the most success they've ever seen as a franchise, winning 2 championships with Willis Reed leading them. He also acquired both Finals MVPs for those championships as well. To add on, he was also the 1970 MVP and a 7-time All-Star. In his best season, Willis put up 21.1 points, 14.5 rebounds, and 2.3 assists while averaging 52.1% from the field and not attempting a single 3. I would say his steals and his blocks, but those things weren't tracked back in his time. Yeah, he's that old. That didn't stop Willis Reed from being one of the most dominant centers of all time, as he won an MVP besting competition like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Julius Erving. One interesting title that Willis Reed holds is that he was the first player to win the regular season MVP, an All-Star Game MVP, and the Finals MVP all in the same year. It goes without a doubt that Willis Reed is the best center in New York Knicks history. Sorry, Patrick Ewing. Sadly, his career was cut short due to knee injuries, but I think that if he would have stayed healthy, the Knicks would have had the chance to win another championship. The last player we'll be talking about today, and subsequently the player in the thumbnail, is Monte Ellis. He played for a total of 12 years, that being from 2005 to 2017. He was on 4 different teams including the Warriors, the Bucks, the Mavericks, and the Pacers. His accolades aren't a lot, as he's only won Most Improved Player of the Year in 2007. In his best season, Monte Ellis put up 25.5 points per game, 3.3 rebounds per game, 5.3 assists, 2.2 steals, and just under half a block a game, while shooting 45% from the field and 33.8% from 3. Monte Ellis will definitely go down as one of the greatest second-round picks ever, and the Golden State star before Steph Curry showed up. Much like Gilbert Arenas, Monte Ellis was a cold-hearted bucket getter. During his time in high school, he even dropped 72 points on a rival team. The dominance didn't stop in high school either, as in the NBA, he had 8 seasons where he averaged 18 or more points per game. He was also given the nickname the Mississippi Bullet for his speed. His greatest game ever was against the Oklahoma City Thunder featuring Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. He dropped 48 points against the OKC team that was 20-5 at the time during the season. Monte was without a doubt one of the most entertaining players in his time and has become a legend for this moment. Those shots and that handshake just blew me away for a second when I first saw it. I never thought somebody could be so chill about hitting the same crazy shot 4 times. On the court, Monte played mostly under the rim, and his offensive game was highlighted with crazy circus shots, amazing crossover moves, and a lethal fast break game. Monte Ellis was super underappreciated in his time, and I hope this video shined a little bit of needed light on him. That brings an end to the video. If you enjoyed it and want to see me make a part 2, please hit the like button and let me know in the comments below. If you like this type of content, please consider hitting a like too, as it shows us support. If you have any comments or suggestions, please don't hesitate to comment either. I respond to everybody. But until next time, cheers.